See, Turek, your mind, it is like a gun. And you want to load it up with little itty bitty bullets of knowledge.
What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra, and thank you for tuning in to another episode. Alright, as you can see by the title, we're picking up the Debilitation series with the Aquarius zodiac sign. Alright, so y'all make sure to tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra one-on-one, and y'all make sure to tap into my Patreon where I'm getting into monthly classes, deeper analysis, celebrity synastry breakdowns, and more. Alright, we almost at 30 Patreons. You know, I'm highly thankful, all right, and appreciative of everybody that's, you know, tapped in with me and whatnot, and we could try to see how quick we could hit 100 Patreons, all right. But for the most part, let's get into this debilitation of the Aquarius archetype. Now, I had to get back in my element. I had to get back, you know, I had to get back into standing up. You know, sometimes when I stand up, I flow better. I don't know what it is. I just flow better. I get to move around better. Alright, y'all know I like to move in my thought a little bit during these videos. I'll make bullets of things for the most part, but I like to just flow with, you know, what I know resonates with me about whatever the topic is. And when we look at Aquarius, now we know this debilitation series is to pinpoint the natural weakness, the natural uncomfortable opposite energy that's a part of our archetype. So just like the element and the planet that rules your sign, the planet that's debilitated and in its fall state is a part of your archetype as well. So by default, this is going to be an energy your zodiac sign doesn't deal well with. Comes off opposite. Maybe a little uncomfortable, maybe a little nervous, maybe a little vulnerable dealing with that energy. All right. This energy can play out as your Achilles heel. So a lot of our debilitations be things other people could pick at. Other people could get under our skin because other people can manipulate us because our whole archetype, period, let alone just the debilitation part. People could take advantage of your powers. All right? People could take advantage of your powers. So that comes with the ruling planet as well. But when we look at Aquarius, Aquarius is fixed air, okay? Fixed air ruled by Saturn, co-ruled by Uranus. Co-ruled by Uranus. So when we talk about fixed air, that's being fixed, concealed, consistent, stubborn, longevity when it comes to communication, when it comes to the intellect, when it comes to ideas, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to interaction, okay? And Saturn represents restriction, boundary, limitations, business, structure, organization. It rules reality, is the father of time, it rules time. Okay, then we got the co-ruler Uranus, 50% ruler. Alright, we know all the generational planets, they 50% rulers. Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. So when we look at Uranus represents your individuality. Uranus is a real rebellious, transformative energy trying to imprint its individuality. Alright, that's the tool we use when we're trying to tap into our individuality in this lifetime. So it does things different, so it's gonna be unique. But that's what makes it rebellious, because it goes against the grain. It's about gaining power. We could correlate Uranus to power and authority as well. So this is the Aquarius archetype. A real individual thinker, free-spirited thinker, humanitarian with the ways that it wants to imprint its ideas into the collective and its ability to correlate that to others and work with others is birthed out of the 11th house. The 11th house deals with, you know, the public environment, society, unknown relationships, all right, communication, technology, social media. Is a mystic house, deals with spirituality, deals with higher thought, abstract thought. So this Aquarius in a nutshell, very abstract individual thinker, does things real differently, real rebellious, goes against the grain, doesn't align with everything mentally, thinks for their own, can be stubborn, all right? You're not gonna speed up the pace of an Aquarius. You think just because they air, they could be a bit lost in their own thoughts, but you ain't about to speed them up though. they Saturn gonna kick in. Like, hold up, wait a minute. You ain't about to throw all that at me. And I not cultivate my own individual thought about something. I already forget cultivating my own individual thought about something. That's Aries, creating a new way to see something differently. Aquarius already got their own ways fixed. They already got their own ways they thinking about something. So when you bring some shit out, you gonna hear that opposite spectrum of what you talking about. 9 out of 10 times, unless they align with what you talking about. They could even align with what you talking about, but the way they explain it go be different. It's gonna have they way, they little sprinkle of a way you never thought about it. Aquariuses bring that thought to the world a lot. They bring thoughts that the rest of the world don't think about a lot of the time. So when we look at the debilitation, when we look at the debilitation of a sign, it's always gonna be the planetary ruler of the opposite sign. So when we look at the opposite of Aquarius, we have Leo. Leo's ruled by who? What? When and how? The sun. And the sun deals with light, creativity, awareness, helps you to see, helps you to act on what you can see, your visions. Alright? So whenever we express, deals with expression, whenever we expressing something, whenever we're doing something for people to be able to see or feel how we see or feel, that's sun energy. You're shining awareness. You're teaching, okay? You're enlightening. You're putting somebody in the dark about something. You're taking something that was in the dark within you and putting it into the light. Yeah, that's sun energy. Moon energy would be the opposite. Help you decipher your sun and moon. Okay? So, when it comes to the sun, and this is why me and Aquarius be like this too. This is why I click with my Aquarius too, because this is my motherfucking cousins. Not only is we air, not only is we air, not only do we have Saturn in common, because Saturn is exalted in Libra, alright? So we overdo Saturn energy. Sometimes things could be all about business, all about getting from point A to B, all about what we can gain from a relationship, all about how we can use somebody else to build. So that's something Libras and Aquarius have in common. And Gemini's fall into that a bit because they're air, but there's not so much Saturn energy. But when we look at, not only we both air, not only we both Saturn influence, we got that debilitation of the sun. The sun falls in Libra, but it's debilitated in Aquarius. Now when we talk about debilitations, this is an energy, once again, it's going to be hard for the Aquarius to deal with. Come off opposite to the Aquarius. So air signs can already overthink, have a lot of ideas, be in the head a lot, be airheadish. I'm an airhead, I be airheadish a lot. It's just the smartest, most intelligent air sign go have their moments. Alright? The most intelligent air sign be a genius, but overthink a lot of their shit. And we all prone to overthink, period, because we dealing with Mercury's. We dealing with having to these higher chakras as a spirit in these bodies. We have a Mercury somewhere, wherever your Mercury's at, whatever house your Mercury's at, you overthinking that house. But Aquarius is, they gonna overthink. Why? Because the sun is debilitated. So when it comes to acting and expressing, they need to cultivate the thought behind that. Saturn doesn't really align with the sun. Saturn don't reflect light. It's about reality. So it's a lot of realistic thought here with Aquarius. So when they respond to you, it may not truly reflect everything you just gave to them. Okay? Because the thought got to process it through a Saturn-like filter. So not only is it going through fixed air, which it's being processed in a way where they already have their fixed mentality about things. With the debilitation of Saturn, of the sun, with Saturn influence here, the thought is way more realistic. The thought gets grounded. It could be a real creative idea. It could be a real inspiring, enlightening idea. But the mind of an Aquarius got to make sense of that idea. The mind of Aquarius got to see if that's something that could be communicated, related, networked, used. Alright? So, when it comes to the creative ideas of Aquarius, them damn selves, y'all could be too lost in y'all thoughts and debilitated with y'all actions. Alright? Y'all can be lost in y'all thoughts and debilitated with y'all actions by not expressing and acting on what creative ideas you have. Aquarius, you guys can try to work through people a little bit too much. do things for others a little bit too much. So yes, you guys are very individual, but when you guys get into situations, that you feel like you can build with others, sometime that friendship energy, that compatibility energy is at such a lack, it could be highlighted that you just want to utilize a resource with that connection, and it could be picked up on, Aquariuses. So this is not to say not to take advantage of your ability to understand how to make your things come together, things be built based off of resources come together, different parties come together, different resources among the collective, putting it in the pot together, because you guys know how to do that. All right, you guys know how to rally people up, but it's more so about when it comes to your own individual thoughts, things that you need to individually do. You can't be just blocking them out because you don't look at it as something you can use. You got to be able to tap into vision and not just intellect. There's a difference. It's very very thin line. Intellect gonna deal with more logic. Your thoughts, you're gonna be able to see your thoughts, which is logic. You're gonna be able to see your thoughts to an extent. But the sun energy gives the feel, is more of the potential of you acting on it. The logic comes in with you seeing how you're gonna do it or whatever, comes into you seeing how to technically put it together, all right? But the sun is dealing with belief. The sun is your will. Aquarius, you have to know that you can will your thoughts into here. You can will them thoughts into reality. You don't have to be lost in them thoughts. You got to understand how to organize your thoughts, Aquarius. You guys got to understand how to organize and structure your thoughts and understand the responsibilities you may have created with others. But when it comes to your own sun energy, you need to make sure you embrace that in this lifetime. You guys can be known to shoot other people's sun energy down based off how realistic you see things. So it's not like you're doing it purposely. But for the most part, if it's Saturn energy, I'm a Capricorn moon rising, so I play out the same thing. Sometimes people could bring a real creative idea to me, but if you present it in a real unstructured way, then now I gotta feel like I gotta come in and do construction work to make your idea more efficient, which I don't mind doing as a Capricorn. But then, if it feels like it's too much, it feels like I can't benefit, if it feels like, all right, I need to take more percentage for how I even did this, now is like, all right, Saturn, you gotta learn how to moderate Saturn now. It went a little bit too serious, too hard, even though it's trying to have reality enforced in what it's doing. Aquarius, some things can be restricted. You can self-restrict yourself a lot, from the things you're able to create and express, with the way you're able to be seen for things. This is another thing, Aquarius, is why you guys play out as some of the most introverted signs as well. Yeah, you air, so you're gonna be intellectual, you're gonna be intelligent, you're gonna know how to deal with words and communication. When you do communicate, y'all do love to communicate because y'all air. Y'all wanna relate in some type of shape or form, but it's a different form of relating from the other air signs. You want to get out in the public environment, maybe some status that you want to have attached to things as an Aquarius with Saturn influence in your air. Okay, you might want to make sure that the people that you're around aren't just mundane thinkers, are people that have powerful thoughts, people that have authority, that believe in gaining some form of power or authority, or embracing individuality among what's going on in the collective, among what everybody's a part of. Those the people Aquarius like to communicate and be in unison with, individual thinkers. So this is why they may be, Aquarius may not really feel like you believe, or not even believe, but Aquarius may not feel like you're not as structured, if you expressing and giving them a type of light about something, they may feel like you're not really as structured and pinpointed with what you're talking about. So how can I really start to believe and see your shit with that sun debilitation? Is why they may not reflect things like that. But yeah, when it comes to Aquarius as being some of the most introverted signs, yeah, part of that come with a bit of a sun debilitation. Here, Saturn don't reflect light. So when you deal with gaining attention for things, that Leo Aquarius axis gonna gain attention, both Leos and Aquariuses. Leo's by default, birthed out the 5th house, ruled by the sun. But Aquarius is, y'all so different. Y'all so individual. Y'all go against the grain so much that it is intense, and your individuality is noticed. It is noticed. So you're gonna gain attention for that. All right. And a lot of y'all don't like having to gain so much attention. The sun is debilitated here, it's opposite. So sometimes y'all really rather just do things the more logical way and try to avoid attention unless it's something you want to put attention towards. So y'all gotta learn to embrace, be able to pick up on these creative things about yourselves, Aquarius. Especially a lot of y'all Aquarius that have y'all friends and or family members telling y'all creative at this, that, and the third, but y'all restricting it. Y'all looking at something that you shouldn't, you can't express or use within the form of creative expression or structure. All right. You know, all Aquariuses, once y'all get into that creative bag, y'all already gonna have a real individual way of dealing with y'all art anyway, so we gonna have to respect that. That's y'all energy. But you gotta make sure you jump into that sun energy and get down with expression in this lifetime. Get down with being seen for the things you want to bring into this world, Aquarius, all right? Making sure that, you know, your form of expression is being felt when it has to be felt, and you're not just in the head about how you should communicate something or whatnot. Allow yourself to dive into a feeling of things. You know, the sun, Saturn doesn't reflect light. Air deals with logic. Saturn deals with structure, practicality. But the sun also got a feel to it. The sun deal with feel. Aquarius, you got to jump into feeling things at times. And when I say that, I mean that in every way is possible. You can have the most logical way of doing something. Aquarius, you gotta be able to ignite yourself with some form of will to think that you can conquer that. All right, and this is coming from a fellow air sign that attracts a lot of Aquarius, and I'm a Capricorn rising, but I got Aquarius in my first house, so a lot of Aquarius energy influences my personality. All right, and a lot of my personal issues at times I gotta make sure that I'm putting light, I'm giving life to that. It doesn't just stay logical. But I'm a Libra as well. So once again, I understand this energy. I understand the sun being debilitated. I understand being heavy in the mind and understand I'm not acting and expressing as much as I should. And I'm trying to think for shortcuts how I could do things. Aquarius, you got to be mindful that you're not doing this to yourself as far as restricting what you could be creating or expressing. All right. So that's what we have for the debilitation. When we look at the fall state, I don't believe there is a fall state for Aquarius. Some astrologers may tie Neptune into that. In some correlation, I do see it there, and there may definitely be an influence of that. You know, Neptune deals with the imagination. Neptune deals with belief. Neptune deals with your creativity. Neptune deals with, you know, how you connect to the collective on a subconscious level, your subconscious. So in a way, Aquariuses do have a debilitation when it comes to their belief factor. All right, air gonna deal with logic, but y'all gotta make sure that that fire is there, that will is there. All right, that you feeding that potential that you see of what can be, Aquarius, instead of getting lost in your ideas and thoughts. Because the extra thoughts is Saturn-like thoughts. So it's thoughts that could eat, that's helping you see reality. But once again, Saturn places restrictions. So you could be self-restricting yourself, thinking you can't do something, thinking you can't use a form of creativity. It could be something you creative as hell at. But because it's a creative thing, it's not a possession, not something you can use, not a person, not a resource, not a net, something you can network. The way you look at creative and expressing it may be a little off. So even with the sun being debilitated, the way you see things at times, Aquarius, the way you see things can be off. For me as a Libra as well too. So when I say the way you see things, the sun has a lot to do with self-identity and your awareness. So the way that you even see yourself doing things can be debilitated as far as you not holding on to the potential of what you see yourself doing and following up with more with that practical action with Saturn, with working on it, with what you do naturally, and ultimately start to connect yourself to others that's involved with what you're doing, with what you do naturally. All right, Aquarius. So hopefully that brought some clarity to things dealing with, you know, how you express yourself, how you deal with being on the stage, being seen, and deal with attention, Aquarius. You guys are real individual and original. A lot of the times, y'all not going to remix what other people do. Y'all going to bring something new to the surface. You know, y'all going to do something ways other people have never done it. Attention going to come with that. Embrace your individuality. Understand you never got to correlate yourself to the ways other people are doing things, being an air sign. You could be real relatable, but never feel like you got to correlate yourself to the ways other people are doing things, Aquarius. Alright? So it's your guy, Boro. The Lucky Libra. Y'all already know what it is, man. Make sure y'all tap into my website to connect with the Lucky Libra on a one-on-one level, and make sure to tap into my Patreon, you feel me? Well, I'm getting into deeper energies and all that. Alright, family? And next video, we wrapping the Debilitation series up with my Pisces. Alright, y'all, until next time, peace.